What's up YouTube, this is GalacticGod, and welcome to the episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! Chat. Now first off, let me give a couple of quick shout outs. The first one going out to MikeHDYGO, the second one going out to NothPHD, the third one going out to PlasmaCards, and the fourth one going out to Team Samurai X1. Now if you guys could, please go check out all their channels. I'm sure any kind of help and feedback would be most appreciated by them. With that kind of said, I'd like to get on to this week's discussion. Now, a little while back, CJ Sparkins did a video where he kind of talked about an incident that happened to him on DN. Now to give you a quick run through of it, basically he talked about how he was in a tournament on DN and he started getting harassed or razzed or poked fun of by a bunch of the watchers in the watchers chat. And it kind of led me to think about this week's topic a little bit more. Now what I want to talk to you guys this week is sportsmanship in Yu-Gi-Oh! Now it's true Yu-Gi-Oh! Is not a sport per se. It's not like baseball or football or basketball or hockey or any of these other kind of sports where they really kind of strive and make people believe in sportsmanship. But it is a game nonetheless, and when you play games like Monopoly or Checkers or any of these other kind of board games, as a child you're kind of taught to be a good sportsman. You're taught that when you lose, it's not the end of the world, that you need to be a good sport about it. Now, when I was young, this is kind of the things that I was taught, and these are kind of the values that I try and teach my son. But it's not always the case that I've noticed when I see people playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Now, a lot of people know that I'm not super competitive into the game no more. A little bit is by choice, and a lot of it is by circumstance. I mean, I work full-time now, I go to school full-time, I have a son, a girlfriend, family, all kinds of obligations that just require me to take up a lot of my time. And so one of the things I'm not able to really do is be very competitive into my hobby, which is Yu-Gi-Oh! Now I still try and go to a lot of the big events when I can. I like to go to locals and whatnot when I'm able to, and I like to have my friends who are still really competitive in the game come over all the time, and we still duel. So I still think I keep up pretty well with the meta, even though I'm not what I would call a competitive player by any sense anymore. In fact, I usually like playing non-competitively better, but that's neither here nor there, and it's kind of a little off topic. The point is, one of the things that I really don't miss about being a competitive player anymore was kind of the sportsmanship that would happen when I would go to events. Now, what do I mean by this? Well, I've seen lots of players when they're dueling kind of getting frustrated with the other player, kind of being really rude or nasty, kind of calling them names, calling them scrubs, just kind of berating each of their plays. Why would you make a move like that? What are you thinking? Are you stupid? Why do you play that card? Who plays this card? Who plays this deck? All these kind of really mean things are just constantly said from one player to the next. Now, it's not the same when you're playing with a buddy and you guys are just joshing with each other, or, I mean, I kind of rib my friends when I'm playing them, and they rib me back, and it's all done in good fun, and it's all done, more or less playfully, and it's not done meanly, and it's not done to, hurt someone's feelings or to make them, feel like shit, essentially. I mean, you're doing it just because that's what buddies do. But when you're in a tournament and you're playing someone you don't know, and you're just being a complete jerk to someone, it's just something that's kind of unacceptable to me, and it's something that happens quite a bit in Yu-Gi-Oh! Now, I'm not saying everybody that plays competitively is an asshole. That's not at all what I'm saying, and it's not true. There's a lot of really good, good valued players out there. There's a lot of really good valued people out there that play this game, and that's not, a knock on any of them, and it's not probably a knock on most people that play the game, but there is a large percentage of people who are very unsportsmanlike in Yu-Gi-Oh! And I never really quite understood why they feel like they can be that way in this game, but not in other things, not in things like actual sports, not in things in like actual board games where people wouldn't act like this. Is it just that Yu-Gi-Oh! Is very competitive? Well, stuff like baseball and even poker, which is another card game, is very competitive too, and people essentially aren't jerks in those things. And perhaps maybe it has something to do with the age group that Yu-Gi-Oh! Kind of attracts in their competitive scene. There's a lot of teenagers and young adults that play it, and sometimes they're not always the best, for sportsmanship behavior. But what I want to know really is, what do you guys think? What is it like where you live? Are your locals really good at, their player base? Are they real sportsman-like when you go to your local regionals? When you go to your big YCSs out there? What are they like? Are they have real sportsman-like players, or do they have douchebags that are just razzing on other people? What is it that you think we can do to change this in the game? What is it that you would like to see change? What do you think the answer is to kind of rid this problem of it? And I guess that's it for this week. This is GalacticGod, out.